It's Monday, June 22nd. In the headlines, PEP results are out, and aid for hurricane-affected farmers participating in the 2026 Denbigh Agricultural Show. In business news, new Chinese car dealership building opens on South Camp Road. Regionally, St. Lucia's Prime Minister pushes food security on CARICOM agenda. And in sports, national championships conclude with record performances and first-time winners. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The results of the 2026 primary exit profile examinations, PEP exams, will be out today, June 22. Parents and guardians will be able to view their children's performance online through the DPIS online portal beginning at 2 p.m. A total of 31,806 Grade 6 students sat the examinations on April 29 and 30, comprising 15,964 boys and 15,842 girls. The details of the results were shared at a press brief today, hosted by the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Denbigh Rodney tells us more.
Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says this year's primary exit profile or PEP results show continued improvement in student performance despite the introduction of a new literacy and numeracy component. Speaking at a press briefing on Monday, the minister highlighted gains in several key areas and noted that most students were successfully placed in one of their preferred secondary schools.
90% were placed in their school, a school of their choice. 90%. You have 7 choices. You have 7 choices, and 90% were placed in one of the ones that they had. But remember, some are placed by proximity. So if none of your 7 are there, the ministry will, and I know some schools do share it, the proximity listing. So you are placed at a school that is that's close to where you live. But only 9.5% of students were placed by proximity.
The ministry also reported that 76 students were excluded from the placement process.
76 students were excluded from placement. These were primarily students who had special needs or who requested that they not be placed. And there are some private school students who do PEP, and their parents ask that they not be placed, but they just want to see how they perform vis-a-vis the rest of the cohort.
Looking at the overall national performance, Dr. Morris-Dixon says the results suggest Jamaica's education system is making steady progress and moving in the right direction.
If you look in terms of the foundational skills on the right, that's your numeracy and your literacy tests. 75% is the outcome for numeracy. 75% of our students are where we want them to be. Literacy, 79%. In terms of mathematics, 69% of our students were at proficient or highly proficient. And in terms of language arts, 72% of our students were at proficient or highly proficient. So that's our national scorecard. That's how we did as a country in our PEP 6 exams. We are on the right track.
The Education Minister says it will continue to strengthen literacy and numeracy programs as it works to improve learning outcomes across the island. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Denbigh Rodney.
The 72nd staging of the Denbigh Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show will be held from July 31 to August 2 at the Denbigh Showground in Maypen, Clarendon. Speaking at the launch at Hypro in Whitemore, St. Catherine recently, Portfolio Minister Floyd Green said the event celebrates the resilience of Jamaica's farmers and fishers. He called Denbigh the heart and soul of Jamaica, while serving as a symbol of recovery and renewal for the agricultural sector. The minister highlighted the severe impact of recent weather events, noting that Hurricane Melissa caused an estimated $36 billion in damage to agriculture, compared to $7 billion from Hurricane Beryl. Despite the setbacks, he says the sector has demonstrated remarkable determination by preparing for a full 3-day Denbigh experience less than a year after the storm. The event is being held under the theme, Growing Forward, Cultivating a Path to a Better Jamaica. It will feature exhibitions, competitions, forums, training sessions, a farmers market, livestock displays, a health and wellness village, and activities for children and families. To support the farming community, the Jamaica Agricultural Society will distribute 1,000 complimentary tickets and provide transportation for farmers from areas hardest hit by Hurricane Melissa. Discounted tickets will also be available to farm groups and agricultural associations. Jamaica has reaffirmed its commitment to the global reparations movement, pledging to work alongside CARICOM, Ghana, African nations, and communities of African descent worldwide to advance the cause of reparatory justice. Speaking at a recent reparations conference in Ghana on behalf of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Minister Olivia Grange said Jamaica remains dedicated to developing a united and strategic approach to addressing the lasting effects of slavery and colonialism. Minister Grange also announced that Prime Minister Holness has accepted an invitation to serve on the high-level Global Advisory Council on Reparatory Justice, reinforcing Jamaica's leadership role in the international movement. The minister praised Ghana's efforts in securing a landmark United Nations resolution recognizing the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery as crimes against humanity, with the support of 123 countries. She stressed that reparatory justice extends beyond financial compensation and should include truth-telling, formal apologies, restitution, rehabilitation, reconciliation, and guarantees against future injustices. A present father actively engages in his children's lives, shaping their emotional, psychological, and social well-being. The PBCJ celebrates all fathers, not only on Father's Day, usually celebrated on the third Sunday in June, but every day of the year.
It warms the heart to hear men speak with joy and pride about fatherhood.
My name is Maurice Marshall. I'm a father to 2 biological children, but I have been a surrogate to many others.
My name is Dafred Adanta Sood and I have 1 son. My name is Melvin Pennant. I am officially a father of 2 twin girls. I'm godfather for many.
This is Lancy McLean and I'm a father of 5 children.
Omar Owens, and I'm a father of 2 wonderful children.
My name is Courtney T. Johnson. I'm a father of many, biologically just 3.
Buju Banton said it best. It's not an easy road. So many see the glamour and the glitter, so them think are better roses. Being a father is not always easy. It comes with its challenges, its ups and downs, and as Jamaican old people used to say, sometimes coffee, sometimes tea. But in most cases, the good outweighs the bad. What are some of the joys of being a father?
So what people enjoy about, that's what call a father. I mean, me enjoy that.
Schooling them, teaching them, letting them enjoy their childhood. I mean, time is so different most time these kids don't get to enjoy their childhood. So it's good when you can allow that and you watch and observe them in the element. I like to do that. That is how you can see the different personalities and stuff. So.
I do everything with my kids. I go for walks with them, whether it be exercise or nature walks. We share the kitchen together, and we party together. And we go for road trips together.
Training young minds and seeing the effect of what you're training come to fruition. Certainly with my son, it's a case of mini-me to see some of the traits that I have in my own life being manifested in him. With my daughters, it is to see them growing up and understanding themselves in a way, and to hear them even saying that, boy, when I start dating, I want a man like Dad. So that is one of the joys for me.
Coming home in the evenings, they would always greet me at the door. Daddy's home, all excited and, ready to share what would have happened during the day, or want to help me, take off my shoe before getting inside the house, carrying my bag inside. Up to this day, the youngest is doing that, not knowing that, these things are innate in a sense, but it's one of the joys I have of being a father.
You can feel their joy about fatherhood. And here's something interesting. As parents, we often think of our children as sponges, eager to soak up all we have to teach them. But sometimes our children school us. Their wisdom often forces us to look at life differently, from another perspective. So we ask, what is one really important lesson that you have learned from your children?
The need to keep your promises. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a discussion with my daughter, and we have this thing about things that martial men do. And we were talking about it, and she said to me, but Daddy, you don't always do what you say. I said, what do you mean? She said, yes, you said you're going to do this and that, and you did not do those things. And it helped me to realize that they were holding me accountable. And although there were justifiable reasons for me not to have done the things that I was supposed to have done, I did not go back and explain to them that there was a challenge. So I learned from that they will hold you responsible and they're listening to what you're saying.
That I can be reprimanded too. Yes, for my girls, they're now teenagers, just became teenagers, and the argument changed. It used to be, Daddy, can I have this? Daddy, am I able to get this? The argument has changed now to, Daddy, I need this by X time, and it humbles you.
Well, they have taught me the values of family. My children are really family oriented, and it led me to seek after family.
Oh, work hard, And from me get that boy, say cash, so me have to work really hard. I never really think me that I would work so hard, but from me start get youth, working, turn up.
Well, whenever you make a promise, you better keep it, because it will come back to haunt you. You'll always be earning. But Daddy, you said you're going to do this. Daddy, remember? Yeah, keep your promises when you make them.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill was the keynote speaker at the opening of the new US $7 million Great Wall Motor showroom at Stewart's Automotive Group. The GWM showroom on South Camp Road is a 9,000 square foot facility named the Diana Stewart Building, which drew more than 500 guests to the June 3rd opening.
A global brand like Great Wall Motor, one of China's leading privately owned automotive manufacturers, operating in more than 170 countries and regions, choose to establish a permanent, purpose-built presence in Jamaica. It is a clear vote of confidence in Jamaica's economy.
For the trading period of June 19, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Dollar Financial Services Limited with 4,361,758 units, representing 20.25% of market sales activities. Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited with 3,430,584 units, representing 15.93% of market sales activities. Wigton Energy Limited with 2,042,589 units, representing 9.48% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in energy, distribution, and finance plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for June 19, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $158.58 and buying at $156.53. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by 88-cent transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $112.80 and was bought for $111.92. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of $4.73 in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $209.32 and was bought for $204.59. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas export. For our credit report tip of the day, your credit report is the underrated tool of rebuilding your life. One of the biggest misconceptions about financial recovery is that it means returning to where you were before. Consider a 58-year-old woman emerging from divorce. She has not yet seen the final divorce papers. Now, an asset she had was transferred during the divorce proceedings, and she co-owns an apartment with her ex-husband, who he keeps the rent, and she must soon leave her rental home because the owner plans to sell. Now, she wants to buy a home without a mortgage, and her income supports a modest property outside the city, but she wants to remain in an area that exceeds her current affordability. So in a situation like that, many people focus on what has been lost. Bankers focus on what remains. What assets still exist? What income is reliable? What legal rights remain unresolved? What options are available today? That is what your credit report answers. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital, markets, and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, Caribbean leaders are preparing to place food security at the top of the agenda when St. Lucia hosts the upcoming CARICOM Heads of Government Conference. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre is urging regional leaders to take coordinated action to boost agricultural production, strengthen sustainability, and reduce the Caribbean's dependence on imported food.
With drought conditions heightening concerns over food security across the region, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre says the upcoming meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government to be held in St. Lucia will place renewed focus on strengthening regional food production and resilience. Responding to questions on the issue, the Prime Minister stressed the importance of member states leveraging their unique resources to address food security challenges and other pressing regional concerns.
There was not a theme, but there was an objective in CARICOM to have 25% of our food imported, 25% of our food produced in the region by the year 2030. That has been shifted to 2035. The issue is CARICOM can produce possibly in every country, but in one country that has the capacity to produce food to trade with the other countries of CARICOM. That is the ideal. But that comes with certain constraints, right? Transportation. You have to either air freight it or send by sea across. We have transportation issues. So the issue is we try in every country to at least make every country self-sufficient in at least a few crops. So in St. Lucia, we chose 7 crops, self-sufficient in 7 crops, and you produce it for your local population and export the excess.
Prime Minister Pierre emphasized that achieving regional food security will require countries to maximize their respective strengths, whether through human resource, agricultural land, technology, or investment.
For the countries with large land resources like Guyana to have our locals go across and plant in certain areas of Guyana and send that food across. But again, these things have call for strong regional integration. And these are the kind of things we're going to be discussing at the Heads Retreat on Monday. These kind of things that benefit the people of the region, so they can stop eating, they can eat right, and all the non-communicable diseases that we have because of poor diets. We can improve them. We can improve on that.
The government leader noted that the issue remains a priority on the CARICOM agenda as leaders seek collaborative solutions to shared challenges.
This is what CARICOM must do. Go into these nitty-gritty things: food security, crime and violence. These are the things that we want to concentrate as a nation, and as the things I'm going to concentrate on in my chairmanship.
The Prime Minister maintains that closer regional cooperation and strategic investment in agriculture will be essential to achieving sustainable food security. The issue is expected to feature prominently during the upcoming CARICOM summit as leaders work toward practical solutions to strengthen the region's capacity to feed itself.
Guyana's growing export ambitions could face a major setback if the United States moves ahead with proposed tariff increases linked to a forced labor investigation. That's the warning from a former senior U.S. trade official who says the measure could significantly impact the country's emerging export sectors. The issue was raised during a recent World Trade Center Georgetown luncheon focused on strengthening trade and investment relations between Guyana and the U.S. Here's more in this HGP Nightly News report.
Former United States Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Global Markets has issued a stark warning about the United States' recent tariff proposal targeting imports from Guyana. Speaking at the World Trade Center Georgetown luncheon, which aimed at strengthening Guyana and U.S. ties, Frankentarman highlighted regulatory challenges for local exporters. The proposed increase was prompted by concerns over forced labor in supply chains, which Frankentarman said could significantly hinder the growth of new Guyanese products entering the U.S. market.
This rate may increase to 12% based on a recent, as of just 2 weeks ago, country-specific rate proposed by the administration following a forced labor investigation.
While key industries like oil and bauxite remain exempt, softening the overall economic blow, the new tariff threatens to stifle burgeoning industries such as the agriculture sector that are vital to diversifying its export base.
Under these new tariff regimes, Guyana has been placed in much the same position as other countries. Although, as is the nature of this administration, the tariff rates have changed frequently.
Highlighting recent trade trends, he pointed to a sharp decline in U.S. imports from Guyana dropping from 28% in 2024 to 17.9% in 2025, largely due to the introduction of stricter tariff measures. This shift signals a growing barrier for Ghana's emerging exporters, risking long-term economic growth and market access in the United States. Initially, Ghana faced a reciprocal duty rate of 38% in April 2025, a high tariff designed to protect domestic industries by imposing substantial costs on imports. This rate was dramatically reduced to 15% by July 2025, signaling a move towards more open trade practices. Subsequently, following a ruling by the Supreme Court validating President Trump's initial tariff measures, Ghana's tariff rate was aligned with the universal 10% rate applied to multiple countries. According to Vinkin Taraman, the overall impact of the tariff on Ghana's exports is expected to remain limited due to current exemptions for petroleum products and bauxite. The more significant negative effect is likely to be the suppression of new export categories from developing industries in Guyana to the United States. Antonio Day reporting for the AGP Nightly News.
In sports, we look at athletics. Sprint hurdler Demisha Roswell delivered the performance of the meet's final day at the JAAA Puma National Senior and Junior Championships, storming to victory in the women's 100-meter hurdles in a personal best 12.40 seconds to secure her first national senior title. In the men's 110-meter hurdles, Demario Prince captured his first national title in 13.13 seconds. Alana Reid bounced back from a disappointing 100-meter final to win the women's 200 meters in a personal best 22.25 seconds. On the men's side, Christopher Taylor claimed the 200-meter crown in 20.09 seconds. The 400 meters titles went to Stacey Williams and Antonia Watson, who both secured their first national senior championships. Williams won the women's event in 50.34 seconds, while Watson captured the men's title in 44.73 seconds. Meanwhile, Sanique Walker closed out the championships with a victory in the women's 400 meters hurdles, clocking a personal best 54.56 seconds. In football, the group stage action continued at the FIFA World Cup, with several teams strengthening their chances of advancing to the knockout rounds. On Friday, in Group D, the United States secured a comfortable 2-0 victory over Australia, while Paraguay edged Turkey 1-0 in a match that also saw a red card issued. Over in Group C, Morocco claimed a hard-fought 1-0 win over Scotland, and Brazil maintained their strong form with a 3-0 triumph over Haiti. Saturday's fixtures produced plenty of goals. The Netherlands cruised to a 5-1 victory over Sweden in Group F, while Japan delivered one of the most impressive performances of the tournament so far, thrashing Tunisia 4-0. In Group E, Germany earned a crucial 2-1 win over Cote d'Ivoire, while Ecuador and Curacao battled to a scoreless draw. Sunday's schedule: Spain dominated Saudi Arabia 4-0 in Group H, while Uruguay and Cape Verde played to an entertaining 2-2 draw. Group G saw Belgium and Iran finish scoreless despite a red card in the contest, and Egypt defeated New Zealand 3-1 to boost their hopes of progressing. With the group stage nearing its conclusion, several teams are now closing in on places in the round of 16, while others must win matches to keep their World Cup dreams alive. And that's the news on PBCJ. Pleasant viewing.